Yes, it really is a true story. I got pregnant with an IUD. As you can see in this picture here, the long white thing is an IUD and that circle thing is a baby. Hi, I'm Kirsten, a traveling mom of a 2-year-old daughter, Adeline, and I am now 33 weeks pregnant with our IUD baby. I share videos about motherhood, tips and tricks for traveling with littles, and family travel vlogs. So if you haven't already, be sure to like and subscribe. And let's get going on this crazy story about how I got pregnant with an IUD. It all started when my period was 6 days late. I really didn't think anything of it because I had an IUD. Like, I should be totally fine. I've had it for a year and a half. But my husband told me my boobs looked a little different, and then it clicked to me that my period was really late, and I had the copper IUD, Paragard, and my period was always super regular and super heavy and more painful than before having the IUD. That's like the one big symptom that I noticed, big side effect of having this IUD, was I had a super heavy, painful period. But overall, I thought having this IUD was great because I didn't have hormones being pumped into me. Birth control made me feel a little crazy. So I just thought like, oh, I've had a baby now. I heard that the copper IUD isn't super painful after you have a baby. So I got it put in and it worked great until it didn't. So once my period was almost a week late, I was with my friend and my sister-in-law and I told them, and they were like, you need to go get a pregnancy test. And that same morning, my husband told me that my boobs looked different. And so I was like, all right, I guess I should, just to be safe, you know? So we were at Starbucks just hanging out, talking, and there was a Walmart right across the street. So we decided to go in there and grab some pregnancy tests.
Where are we at?
We're at the Walmart bathroom. This is where I found out last time. So I do not think this is the thing because I have an IUD, but I'm like 6 days late. Are you recording me? Where's mine?
Where is it?
It's just laying flat right there. I was pretty confident that I wasn't pregnant. Like, this was just kind of like a precautionary measure because whenever I looked up this IUD, it was supposed to be one of the most effective forms of birth control. Like, according to Cleveland Clinic, they are 99.2% effective. So they're not the most effective IUD, but overall, an IUD is the most effective form of birth control. Out of 1,000 women, 5 may get pregnant. So I am one of those 5 out of 1,000, which is crazy. Like, that's not even 1 in 100, right? So the chances of this happening are like super rare and not really something I ever feared until now. So I took a test in the Walmart bathroom, which is funny because that's where I found out I was pregnant with Adeline, our first baby, but it came out in an error. It wasn't negative, it wasn't positive. It said there was an error. I must not have peed on it right or something. I don't know. I headed home to go take one by myself, and that one was positive, but I didn't believe it because it was just like the lines, like it was a cross, and I wanted to see yes or no. That's how I was last time, so I don't know why I just didn't buy that version to begin with. Then I went to Target with my sister-in-law because she knew I had a positive test, and I took another one in the Target bathroom, and it said yes. Oh, it's still loading. It really says it. Oh, stop. It really says it. You're crazy. I mean, it says it. It says it. It does straight up say it. It straight up says that she's pregnant. Let's clear the pee off.
Stop. That's so crazy.
I'm so shook. Whew. All right, now I gotta tell Ryan and Adeline. I honestly, like, it didn't really hit me. Like, I'm just kind of like laughing in the video. Like, I think that I was kind of in denial, but like also like, how am I supposed to react? Like, it's not like it's a bad thing. Like, we knew we wanted another kid. We just didn't want one like quite yet, but we were planning on trying like this year at some point, because I wanted them like 3.5 years apart, but they're gonna be 2.5 years apart. So it wasn't like it was the end of the world, but it was shocking to say the least, because I was not ready, and I was worried what the implications of getting pregnant on an IUD really meant. Like, was this an ectopic pregnancy? Was it viable? Was this dangerous? Was I gonna die? Like, I did not know. But since we were at Target, I went ahead and got Ryan some onesies to open up and be surprised with. So I got one that said little brother, one that said little sister, put the pregnancy test in there, and headed home to tell him. It was almost Valentine's Day, so I told him with an early Valentine's Day present in a heart-shaped box. I will say we were arguing that day, and so he thought that I was like giving him a gift to make up for us, well, he says me being mean to him. And so it worked really well, because he was not expecting this at all. I'm freaking out. I'm like so nervous. I feel like I'm more nervous than the first time, because like I have an IUD. I'm not supposed to be pregnant yet. We were supposed to start trying in like 2-3 months. I got you something.
Why?
It's for Valentine's Day. Early.
Oh, because I did something for you early? Now you're gonna do something for me early?
Exactly.
Because you were mean to me earlier, you're gonna give me a gift?
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. Really?
Yeah.
No way.
I just took 3 tests.
No way.
Yeah.
No way.
Wait, you can't say no way on this video.
Wait, you're joking.
No.
You have an IUD in?
I'm shaking right now.
You have an IUD in?
Yeah. I just called the doctor.
What?
You're not laughing this time.
I knew your boobs were different. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Yeah, so that's why I left today.
You didn't go with Lillian.
I did.
Does she know?
Yeah.
She's not telling anybody.
No.
Not even my mom?
No, I told her she can't. I told her I don't really want anyone to know till I figure out this IUD thing, because it could be bad. So I took this test on a Saturday, and it was the weekend, which really sucked, because that meant I had to wait till Monday to go to the doctor. I called the hospital to make sure I didn't need to go in, and they told me as long as I wasn't heavily bleeding or like cramping, then I didn't need to go to the doctor or the hospital, and I would be fine waiting till Monday to go to the doctor, just to call first thing and they would fit me in. So that morning I went to the doctor, and they did a transvaginal ultrasound since I was so early, which is a little bit uncomfortable, but what are you gonna do? And yeah, the IUD was perfectly in place, and there was a baby in there. Even the ultrasound tech and doctor were like, this is just meant to be. That I can't really deny that. It's just meant to be, to have this baby when we are, for whatever reason. But they were really worried about whether to pull the IUD, because they showed me how the IUD was super close to the sac of the baby, and they were worried whenever they pulled it out that it might nick the sac and cause a miscarriage. Basically, we had to make the decision. I went to lunch with Ryan, and we talked and prayed about it, and decided that since there was a 20% chance of miscarriage if the IUD was pulled versus a 55% chance of miscarriage if the IUD wasn't pulled, we definitely wanted to pull it. So I came back 2 days later, and the doctor pulled my IUD out. Those were like the 2 longest days ever just waiting in anticipation for her to pull it out. And then the next 2 weeks sucked too because I got put on pelvic rest, and they basically said to watch out for a miscarriage. Oh, and someone asked how the removal process was. It was painful because the strings were in my cervix. There was a doctor up in there trying to get the IUD out, and ultrasound tech using an ultrasound to try to see where the doctor should go and pull the IUD and try to find the strings since they were stuck up in my cervix. But thankfully, this story has a happy ending because I am now almost 33 weeks pregnant. We are having another baby girl, which is super exciting. I always have pictured myself as a girl mom, so I'm really excited. Ryan is excited too, except he thinks that he's only gonna have girls and that he's gonna be super outnumbered, but he loves being a girl dad. So to answer a couple questions that I got on Instagram, how long did I have it in whenever I got pregnant? I had it in for about 18 months. I got it put in 6 weeks postpartum, and it worked great until it didn't. Did I get it checked after insertion? Yes. I came back a month after it was inserted, or whatever the normal time frame is. I think it was a month, and they checked it with the ultrasound and said that it looked great. Was there a grieving process that I had to go through because it wasn't planned? I want to say no, because I was just in denial for a long time, which maybe that is part of the grieving process. So maybe, but I wouldn't say like I was grieving it because I knew that I wanted to have another kid eventually. I knew it wasn't a bad thing. It was just very overwhelming and I didn't know how to take it. But like, I know it's a blessing. I know so many people have the opposite problem and take years to get pregnant. So I'm definitely counting my blessings, and I'm really grateful to be having another baby. I'm super excited to be having another baby girl. I'm excited to see Adeline as a big sister. So it's going to be really fun. I am stressed about trying to travel with 2 kids since this is now my full-time job, and Ryan is super busy in med school, but somehow I'm going to make it work. Also, someone asked if there were any like additional concerns during my pregnancy because it is an IUD pregnancy. And since I got the IUD removed, the biggest concern is preterm labor. And thankfully, I am almost in the clear since I am almost 33 weeks pregnant. But yeah, fingers crossed. Overall, I feel like this pregnancy has been a little bit harder than it was with Adeline, and that might just be because I've been chasing around a toddler, traveling a ton, working, and dealing with my husband being in med school. But it's just been a lot more tiring, and during first trimester, I think I felt more sick, especially at the beginning. I remember feeling super sick the first couple of weeks, and my husband was saying it was probably because I had an IUD and I got pregnant and like my body just didn't know what to do. But who knows if that was really why, or if I just got sick because I was pregnant. Since about like 18 weeks until about like 28 weeks, I felt really good. And now I'm just starting to slow down again, feel really pregnant, and this baby kicks all the time and keeps me up at night. But yeah, we can't wait to welcome baby number 2 soon. She is due October 6th. And the timing actually does work out pretty well with my husband's med school if she comes on time, because he has a week and a half off then and doesn't have another week and a half off till Christmas. Also, we still don't know what to name this baby, so let me know in the comments what we should name her. Once again, be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I look forward to seeing you next week in the next video.